Spanish breakfast show. Indeed, it's a privilege to have you live this morning on this Friday. As you may be aware, today is Fasting Prayer Day across Liberia. What's your part of the world you are joining us? Indeed, we have thought it was to dedicate this entire broadcast this morning to a group of young Liberians, versatile Liberians who are so passionate about healthcare delivery system. And they are the passionate hence give back incorporated. So we have with us now one of the vision area about this institution. So he will briefly introduce himself as we get started discussion this morning. So sir, welcome to the press, welcome to Spy Breakfast Show this morning.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks to the SPAC family. So my name is Elton Domjoko. I'm the team lead for Passionate Landscape by Incorporated.
Give us a little background history about passionate hands back when were you established, what happened, some of the involvement.
Okay, Passionate Landscape Back is a youth-led, non-governmental institution. The institution actually is not just limited to Liberia. The institution has its own vision area that are supporting the activities of the institution. So Passionate Landscape Back to Society is a new breed institution that just hit the country, and it's interesting to know that we will be launching on Saturday. That will be our official launch, and the institution has just begun activities. Prior to our official launch, we have not actually done real community engagement or other engagement according to our vision. But then we anticipate right after our launch to hit the community, hit other parts of Monrovia, hit other parts of Liberia, especially in those rural areas, and carry on our vision. So the vision actually originated from females or two females who had this vision, but they are not based in Liberia, though they are Liberians, but they thought to incorporate this vision into the Liberian society because as we all know, most of us Liberians, sometimes we will travel all of this country, we just care about ourselves, it's just about me, I, and myself. But then these young ladies studied wise to come up with a vision that will be able to assist the underprivileged, that will be able to help people in vulnerable communities and society. So the vision is not only limited to Liberia, though it's starting in Liberia, but in the nearby future, we tend to visit other African countries like our neighbor Sierra Leone, like our neighbor Guinea, and other African countries, especially in the West African region.
You talk about identifying with vulnerable Liberians. What have you been able to identify as a major challenge in the front line to strengthen the effort of young people who are vulnerable, especially maybe in those who we call the Zogos and ghettos?
Well, we all know Liberia, after the 14 years of civil unrest, the young people in Liberia have been more or less marginalized. And most of these young people, some of whom are, of course, logos today, they became in numbers from peer pressure, right? Peer influence. At first, after the Civil War, there were just a handful of people. But then as they begin to influence the peer through peer-to-peer discussion and other bad influence, the numbers begin to grow. So we are passionate hence see that as a problem. Because we see that as a problem because the future of this country depends on the shoulder of the young people. And apart from that, look at our economy. There are a lot of people in Liberia today cannot go to bed without even having a meal to eat. Majority of us, right? You look at this community, you realize that the people, especially older people, especially young people, they don't have food to eat. And in as much as they don't have, what comes to their mind is to go and do something out of the way, just to find ends meet. So passionate hands, we will be feeding the hunger. We will be providing some health services, especially to the sick, for people that we identify as sick people in the community. We will be doing that. We will also be working with our brothers and sisters who are called Zongos today. So our aim is to rehabilitate them and be able to integrate them into the society.
Rehabilitate and integrate them back into society is of course a very huge challenge and it's capital intensive when it comes to giving back to the society. What is a source of income?
Well, passionate hands, it's interesting to know that we don't have a source of income for now. Yeah, so we are depending on donor support. We are depending on philanthropy support, humanitarian organizations to come in because we believe that this is just a vision, right? But a vision cannot be implemented to the fullest without some level of financial contributions. We cannot do it alone. That's the reason why we are asking for help from those external organizations, philanthropists, other Liberians in the United States that can come in and be able to help us to push this forward. So we are young people. We are the four vision barrier, the four first soldiers of this thing. So whatever thing that you are seeing for now, we are starting on a voluntary basis. And right after this interview, we identify an older man who will go to him and have some interview with him, seeking help. And we identify two ladies as well that will also visit apart from our official launching tomorrow.
Where are we expecting this to take place, sir?
So the old man our talks about he lives in a soul clinic community. So from here our team will go there and do a visitation to him. And for a matter of fact, he's ill. He has some level of foot problem. It's very bad. I don't want to really describe how it is, but it's actually bad. And he needs serious help. He needs serious help. And passionate hands can only provide this information to the public and ask for help so that the public can help us to treat these people, to help us to feed these people, to help us to be able to help these people as well.
Okay, let's draw the curtain closer to the official launch tomorrow. What are we hoping to see? What should be the public expectation?
Well, the official launching tomorrow is an event that we are passionate hands, we are spearheading the entire thing, right? This is our own way of saying giving back to the community. This is our own way of welcoming ourselves into the community. So we intend to carry out activities in the West Point community and as well as somewhere on the outskirts of Central Monrovia, where we have our disadvantaged brothers and sisters for Zobos. So for the West Point event, we will feed, not intend, but this is what we'll do, right? We'll provide feeding for more than 100 people in that area.
What kind of meal are we talking about?
Come again?
What such a meal are we talking about?
We are talking about our own Liberian meal, rice. We don't want to carry something, like fried, you know. Yeah, we are Liberian, right? And this is a Liberian own initiative. So we are carrying our rice and potato grain or rice. We do rice and cassava leaf, rice and wild with a bottle of water. But the aim is not just to provide our feeding for the day. It's just a symbolic event of what we will do. So giving a man food for the period or just for the time he will become hungry again, right? So we intend to do it just a symbolic stuff, but then in the future we will provide more and more and more to these people. So for the lunch and those people that we are targeting, we know that there are a lot of people who some of them can afford. Right? We are not talking about those kind of people. We are talking about the other people that are there abandoned. We are talking about those people that cannot even get $5 to even buy what we call color. They don't even afford to do that. Because we want this meal to be what this means to serve as an example that Passionate Hands is here to help. Passionate Hands is here to work with the people in the community, to work with the people in the society. And I tell you for sure, we had a lot of events that will be unfolding that will be very new to the Liberian society. We will come on, that's why if you read our vision statement, we are providing help, but we are also carrying on some visual arts event. We're also spotting some talented Liberian kids. Some of these kids are very talented, but then they don't have the support. So Passionate Hands are going to identify with them, especially street children as well, children that are selling in the streets or so. Identify with them based upon their talent, and we be able to ask for donor support, ask for sponsorship to be able to help these children. Because if we all sit and identify the problem without doing anything, I tell you for sure, this problem will never be solved.
All right, if we all sit and see this kid going down the journey, it's going to be your challenge. But let's look at the implication about your own endeavors going to the community, identifying with the underprivileged. It is challenging. At some point in time, what are some of those critical stories you hear from those who have been addicted by drugs? Have they been able to say anything to you?
Well, we have spoken with some of them, but it was unofficial. You know, almost all of us we live in a community where we integrate with them, we see them around, we see them passing, we talk to them, and, you know. So personally, we have spoken with one or two of them, and their story is just they have for me they have similar stories, right? Some of them will tell you that they came from a very good background, they was in school, and then through influence by influence from their friends, they joined their friends, they started taking, you know, from the usual beginning marijuana, from there they start claiming, they started they started everything until they see themselves where they are today. So their stories are somehow interrelated when it comes to how they got there. But then what is more interesting is how to get them from where they are today. That's where passionate hands want to see happening. But we are starting from where we are starting from. And in a long future or in a not too distant future, we hope that passionate hands will not just be an organization that will just come the other organizations, you know, just to make more. But passionate hands will create real impact, not just an impact, but a real tangible impact that we can point out to say, yes, it's because of passionate hands I'm in school today, it's because of passionate hands I can be able to provide for my family, or it's because of passionate hands I have place to sleep today. Because some of these areas that we went, the rain season is around the corner. It's very, very much unfortunate to know that people sleep on bare grounds. When I mean bare ground, really, really bare. Nothing at all. They just spread clothes. And you see these sort of things, you feel sorry for them. You feel like if it were you, what would you do? Yeah. And so some of these things that we come across, we see as a problem, we identify this problem, but we cannot just do it alone. That's the reason why we are seeking for sponsorship, we are seeking for support. We have our numbers that we'll call probably at the end of the show for sponsorship in order to get to all and see how best we all can collectively help to solve some of these challenging issues in Nigeria.
At the moment, the BBC has reported in Nigeria where it confiscated drugs of 3 billion naira was discovered in Lagos State, Nigeria. And then as of last year, the government of Liberia launched a $13.9 million partnership project to rehabilitate Zogos, specifically in affected counties like Mosurado, Maigibi, and Nimba, with particular extension in terms of kind of other counties. Do you think being passionate about this vision will be eradicate just from Liberia?
Well, the question about eradicating drugs from Liberia is somehow is a hypothetical question. I wouldn't say yes we can or no we cannot, but it's a process, and it takes a lot of time, effort, and resources. Because drugs abuse or drugs users, it starts from the top. It's a top to bottom approach. The end users are the bottomers, but it's top to top. So in order to eradicate it from Liberia, we have to start from the top. But then starting from the top, we know our Liberian society, we have so many issues about, do you know who I am and what I do? So it's a very challenging issue, right? Yeah, it's very, very much challenging. But what we as passionate heads can do is to see how best we can do like each one free one, right? We can use the each one free one approach, and then by the grace of God and through support and donations and other financial contributions, we can be able to achieve at least in the next 5 to 10 years, at least 30 to 40%.
There's an upgrowing institution coming up with being so passionate about young people. Let's talk about partnershiping with other institutions. Are you in the mood to do that?
Yes, 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 of course. We're in the move of partnership with institutions, and for a matter of fact, before the end of June, we'll be officially registered with the government of Liberia through the Liberia Business Registration Office, and we'll have all of our documentation set, at which time we'll seek partnership and sponsorship from other organizations. We have also identified key organizations in order to reach out to in terms of partnership, because we believe partnership makes the team work, and Passionate Hands is a youth-led institution, so we are hoping to work with other youth-related organizations once we share our vision, our goal, we share the same love, we are open to partnership and willing to work with every young people in Liberia.
Let's talk about at the conclusion of the launch tomorrow. What could be your expectation?
Well, the expectation for tomorrow is so sudden. It's not like a
Oh, you say something.
joyous expectation, right?
Mm,
I said sudden because we expect to provide feeding for those people, right?
mm,
And after taking those food, after eating, some of them may ask, when again?
mm.
When are we going to have such a great initiative?
Okay.
When are we going to be fair again?
Mm,
So those questions that will arise from tomorrow at the end of the day, it will carry us back to the drawing board and see how best we can not just visit West Point only for launching, but visit West Point or any other communities continuously so that they can feel the real impact.
mm,
Because impact is not just about a day or two, it's a continual process.
mm.
So we expect, yes, we expect a huge turnout because we know the community, we have carried on our community entry level, we have engaged those key stakeholders, we have engaged some on the previous children that we will talk to, that they will share their own story to the world. We are also engaged areas for which the food will be distributed in an orderly manner. And then we also want to tell the public that they should please bring all their support. We are here to stay. We are here to help the people in Liberia, not just Liberia, but as I said, Africa and the rest of the region. But we can only do it as a team. We can only do it with support, with collaboration, and with the mindset of creating that impact into the life of someone.
Some of them may be watching, maybe in the diaspora. There are other West communities across Liberia. Why specifically did you choose West Point? Is it that you have more influence in West Point?
No, it's not really about influence, but let's look at the historical background of West Point. We realize that West Point have been badly affected by almost all of the natural disasters that hit Liberia. We go back to the time of Ebola. West Point was badly hit, was quarantined, and humanitarian organization went in with food and other items.
Mm.
So we see West Point as a beacon, right?
Okay.
Through which we can be able to carry on our activities, carry on our initiative, because we believe that the people in West Point they deserve more than what they are getting right now. Yeah. So we want to engage them, we want to work with them, not just West Point but other communities. But we look at the history of West Point, we realize that West Point it lies on the outskirts of the Atlantic Ocean, it's a slum community. A lot of people there cannot afford meal per day. I've been in the West Point before, I've stayed in West Point for a week or so, and I know exactly what goes on in the area.
Somebody will say you want to give back to your community.
No, it's not about giving back to my community. I never lived there, so
Okay.
I've been there to spend 1 or 2 days a week or so. So it's not like giving back to the community. But I was not even the one who single-handedly chose West Point. It was a teamwork, and the team decided to reach the West Point, and then our next target is at Famuman, but then due to the time factor, we cannot hit Famuman any longer because we hit Famuman another time, but we'll not be doing the launch. Because usually in the evening hour, a lot of people have already left the scene. Yeah, and we'll be going to West Point at 3 p.m. Liberian time.
All right, so definitely this is it. It's Spark Breakfast Show this morning. We're coming to you live and direct from the headquarters of the Passionate Hands Give Back in Monrovia, precisely Oro, where we're talking more and more about young people activities across Liberia. Young people have been badly affected with drug addiction and substance abuse. It's been so interesting, but let's get to know um, some of your founders and co-workers. Are they all Liberians?
Yes, they are all Liberians. This is 100% Liberian home. 100%. All of us on the team, from top to bottom, we are all Liberians. Most of us live in Liberia, and currently the entire team are Liberian and people, and not just Liberian, but young people, young Liberian.
Is it gender balance?
Oh, yes, it's gender balance. It's gender balance. We have a team of 4 to 5 females, so you see how balance it is.
What is the role of the female too? Because going to the ghetto at times, females become a threat.
No, female in terms of persuasion, they are most influential than even us the men, right? Take dated back to the Bible. I know how Eve eventually convinced Adam
Okay.
to eat the apple. So these females are people that they are very influential in talking to these young people, in talking to these affected or vulnerable young people. So they are very, very much important on the team, and they play a very, very key role on the team.
The dream is very big to take and cross over Liberia. It's now easy thing because like we visited other counties. I was just in Grand Gillette recently, and we saw some deplorable life conditions. The people stay drinking from creek. People stay sitting on the bare floor in the classroom and so forth. But the dream is so big. What are the first in your first 100 days after the launch? What do you hope to see in your first 100 days?
Well, after launching our first 100 days, we our first target is to engage more and more communities, right? You know, though we have this vision, but this vision is being segmented. We're doing it one step at a time, one step at a time. We are not just tackling everywhere at the same time at once. No, we are firstly identifying with the elderly people, especially for those who are homeless. We want to identify these homeless people and see how best we can have some sort of funding for them through fundraiser events and other means to get them to a more unique place. Because these older people, they are a blessings to this country. They are, we realize that majority of them have been neglected, and that's the neglect we're trying to solve first. And then, so in our first 100 days, we'll look at the elderly people and the children. Children that are selling in the streets, children that don't have the support, the orphans, and these sort of people, these are the people we're targeting for our first 100 days. But then, in terms of reach, we're targeting diverse areas, diverse backgrounds. We are not looking at religion, we are not looking at tribe, we are not looking at white or black, we are not looking at any of these sort. Our key issue is humanity. We are there to serve everyone from everywhere, no matter where you come. Once we reach you, once passionate hands reach you, we will do our best to be able to help through the help of others as well.
The government of Liberia might bow to your ideas, and other supportive partners may have to come in as well to help you. But at the moment, very shortly, we'll be going to general elections across Liberia. What could you actually recommend to the government or to political parties here, and more especially for young people who will be participating in the process to refrain from violence across Liberia?
Well, passionate hands, though we are into humanitarian activities, but we cannot function if Liberia isn't violent. We can only function and help those needed, those underprivileged, if we have a peaceful election and if we have a legitimate government that will be set up without violence. So our message is very clear, right? We young people, for time past, we have been labeled as the people who instigate this violence. It's upon us now to prove ourselves right or wrong. I can tell any young man, right, it's my right to vote, but it's not my right, or I cannot be involved in any violent activities outside there because what it does is it tarnishes the image of the young people first, and then the Liberian youth will be at the headline of being violent, which in reality is not actually the case, right? So we can tell every young people to abstain from violence, and for the political parties in Liberia, it's good to know that all of them have a youth wing, youth league. This youth wing or youth league have to be more proactive in spreading of the message of non-violence to the various constituents. Because through the various constituents, they reach everywhere in every part of the country. So the message for them, we all should go into this election peacefully without violence. We should avoid every sort of violence, and we should respect whatever decision and seek a code of law in terms of redress. We cannot allow Liberia to go back to where we came from, because where we came from is now one of the major causes of where we are today. And we are already trying to handle this issue, solve this problem, so we cannot solve problem with another problem. We cannot do that. So it's a passionate plea to all of the political parties All you have to do, engage your favorite youth leads, have meetings with them, and tell them to also tell their various partisans and supporters that violence-free election is the only way forward.
Violent-free elections is definitely the only way forward. Indeed, this is the SBA this morning. Wherever part of the world are joining us on this broadcast. We'd love to say thanks so kindly for joining us. We're coming to you live and direct from the headquarters of the Passionate Hands Give Back Liberia. So we will shortly transition to talk to one of the staff to give a more update about tomorrow's activity. So your name again?
My name is Elton Yogo. I'm the team lead. So my colleague is Austin JC. He's the communication officer. He's a young man as well, and you want to see him. He's very energetic, and we are on a team together. And together we're going to make our vision not just a vision but impact into the society. So thanks for having me on your show. So I'll be with now to my colleague Austin C. Who's going to take over.
Thanks, Carlos. So let's welcome Austin. Austin will drive us through for like 5 minutes. Then we record your day on the segment of the broadcast. So keep watching, keep following. Sorry, we cannot read all of your comments this morning because of time factor. But we hope to subsequently relay all of your text messages during our subsequent newscast at about 6 o'clock this evening. So wherever you are again, Austin, you look very bright and smart this morning.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, tell the public your name and give a little information about yourself.
So, yeah, my team lead has said it, Elton. My name is Austin J. Sear, and I'm the communication president for Passionate Hands Give Back International.
Yeah, sure. What have been some of your workings at the lower Passionate Hands Give Back? What have been some of your communication tactics?
Okay, so like my lead said, work of my work is around strategizing and carrying on programs, coming up with ideations that will focus on the kind of things we want to do that align with our vision. What are those strategic communities that we can go to, and who are those people that are in need, and how feasible we can fit these ideas in reaching out to people in this area. So yes, I do more of programming, I do more of strategic communication, and also initiate those programs that will enhance our vision in no time. Yeah.
Have you been able to identify a work situation where you pay a strategic visit to a particular maybe get to and you were able to identify certain lapses in our vicinity as well?
Oh yes. Um. Yeah. Just to reference my team lead Elton, we have done an assessment again. Um. To have selected West Point, it was not just something that we did out of the blue sky. We did it as a team, and that came about as a means of an assessment that we have done. Right, like you spoke about Ebola. Ebola had a great negative impact on the West Pointers. COVID also did same, and other pandemic has been doing such. So based on our assessment, we thought it wise and strategize that yes, West Point is a strategic point that our program launch can take place. So yes, based on the assessment, yes, we have had several interaction with one or two uh, persons from the ghetto, and this is something actually we are going bigger. We are even going as far as the Moreau prison compound and all other prison compound across Liberia. We have the belief that Monrovia is not Liberia. So yes, so we are decentralizing this event and touching every part of the country holistically to be able to feed and give back to the young people of our country as our needs signify. Passionate hands give back, IDC.
Targeting at the moment 100 individuals tomorrow. Why in case if the number increases, what will you do?
Yes, when the number increases, that will serve as a motivation, as an inspiration for us because it will show that definitely we have a bigger job as our vision entails. We have a bigger task out there. There are a lot of people that are in need. So once the 100 people reaches to maybe 150 or 200 or 250, it means that we have to do more. We have to be prepared. Like somebody was asking a question on the social media as to how prepared are we? Yes, we are prepared. We are passionate about this. Yeah. And just to enlighten you on something that you also mentioned as to how gender sensitive is our team. Oh yes, the team is well gender sensitive. How? Our founder, which is the vision bearer, is a female. The co-founder is also a female, and then the entire team is also characterized, as our lead said, by also close to 8 females. Yeah. So yes, we consider the issue of gender. Yeah.
All right, so we consider the issue of gender. Passionate Hands gave back our guest this morning on the breakfast show. Whatever part of the world you are joining us. Indeed, it's a quite interesting movement to know young people are taking the lead to give back to society and standing in the forefront of making it possible that the less privileged have the opportunity to serve and to play a major role in society. But now, let's talk about this issue about drug addiction and substance abuse is kind of a challenge across Liberia to just overcome it is now an easy task. The social media following as how prepared are you in terms of maybe finances and in terms of looking at your own involvement in government own prior support towards your initiative. Are you seeking for a support through government official or a humanitarian organization? If so, what could be your targeted budget?
All right. So, like we said, this is a very big program, right? We yes. The question is yes. The answer is yes. We are targeting supports. We need support. We are seeking donors funding, and we are also seeking funding from philanthropists, Liberian, and other international personalities that will make us to achieve our dream by giving back to the Liberian people, right? It is not just about Zobo. We are looking at Zobo currently because this is the current training issue in our country, damaging our youth. But again, there are other kids out there that are outsmart when it comes to education. These kids need to forward their education, but then they are of single mothers. So we are also thinking as to how we can help reflect these children's stories to solicit support to alleviate the stress that parents are undergoing across the country. Yeah. So with that, yes, we are going to partner with institutions whose vision align with our vision, and yeah, and also we are open to fundings. Yeah. So if in any way the governments can subsidize anything, we will appreciate it. But we are open to funding. We cannot do it alone. We can only achieve this with a collective effort. And as infocus to the UN SDGs, that's the 17 sustainable goal. Goal 17 talks about partnership. So yeah, we are very concerned about partnership.
Let's talk about some of your donation hotline, the Zilly, the Cash App. How do you operate this app?
All right, so this is an instant cash app donation. Yeah, hotlines that once you are anywhere across the country or across the world watching right now, you can just do your donation. If you are using Zelle app, you use this number, and if you are using Cash App, you use this number with this token, and instantly your donation will be received by uh, Passionate Hands Give Back, and then you can also contact us on WhatsApp instantly and make your donation or whatever help you can give to us.
How soon are you prepared now to taking over Mosorado, specifically the several communities in various districts? Let's begin with your district now, where you find yourself, district number 10. How soon are you prepared now to tackle the surrounding communities in district number 10 before going out of district number 10?
Okay, so as you can see, we are prepared, and this is why you are here today. Your question is also in line with the question that was asked as to um, others wanting to join and how soon are we going to go to this rural districts and so forth. Immediately after our launch on Saturday, you're going to see different things. We're going to have several programs around here, and they are going to inspire young people. They are going to, I mean, um, reflect the story of these people, and then you know make them to be where you know they have been finding it difficult to be. We're going to change their story around. Yes, we're going to target every community gradually. As a matter of truth, I can say to those that are wanting to join our passionate hands give back, you just have to be posted. Continue to connect stories to us. Follow our page on social media, Passionate Hands INC. We are there. Sooner or later, we'll be having focus persons in these rural communities and counties. For instance, if you are in Banga, we have a focal person there that will be relaying and capturing stories and so forth, where we can go and have events. If you are in Cape Mount, we're always going to do that. If you are in Sino and so forth. So yes, a gradual process. Sooner or later, by June, we'll overtake the entire Mansurado and start heading to the rest of the counties.
Finally, before we take leave of you, we are definitely out of time. What could be the requirement for those wanting to be part of the institution? Is it by getting degree, or you have to be of this age range, or what's the range of qualification?
All right, so in that light, there is no barrier of qualification. You just have to be a young person that is willing, passionate to make a change in the life of somebody, to reach out, and it's also come with a sacrifice. Like what I say, waiting, right? Yeah, it comes with sacrifice. Currently, we don't have funding. We are seeking funding. So a young person coming and apparently you're expecting pay and so forth, looking at the challenges, you have to deny yourself and have that willingness to give back to your society. If you look at the life of our young brothers and sisters out there, commonly referred to as Zocals, it's very terrible and pathetic. And to do that, to get them out of the street, we have to go the extra mile. So therefore, Passionate Hands Give Back is here to bridge that gap and bring back those people so that the society can be an enabling one for everyone. So yes, you don't need to be a BSc holder. You just need to be a passionate librarian or whatever national, but and willing to give back to yes the young people.
Finally, October 10, we will be going back to the pool to elect new officials in government. Politicians are coming around now, dishing out cash to young people to have their influence and to how to support their political bill. Are you willing to work in line with politicians?
Aspect our stance, we are a non-political, non-governmental institution. Our role is to provide help for the underprivileged. Or if we say we're underprivileged, we're talking about people that are in slum communities that whose livelihoods are very low. Like statistics will say, the normal Liberian live on or spend or live below the margin of maybe $1 or so forth and like that. So yeah, our focus is in this area. All we can do come this election every time is to preach peace, to encourage our young people to um, follow the proceedings from the National Election Commissions and go into the BVR, that is the biometric processes, and be able to vote because your vote is your right and your vote is your voice. And once you vote right or rightly, definitely the future will be better.
Or you reject offer from politicians?
Uh,
Maybe in terms of empowering the team, as a teamwork.
this is something that needs discussion, but once it has a political motive,
Okay.
definitely. For instance, you say, look, I'm giving you this. I want your team to vote me. No, no, no. We are not up to that. But once you come as a politician and you want to give back to the society, to help somebody, to help a child from a small community, to go to university, to help somebody get out of illness, and to fill somebody at the medical center, to provide medical supply or equipments to save life, right? I think we can consider it in that vein. Yeah, because we are open to that.
All right, so thanks so very kindly for being our guest this morning on the SBS Spark Breakfast Show. Whatsoever you are joining us, indeed, it's a privilege to have you on the line this morning. But sorry, we cannot take calls because of some technical reason. But out of your text messages, rest assured we're going to relay it on our subsequent newscast. My name is Vakarius. This is it. Passionately, hence give back. They have been our guests, a group of young people coming out to transform the nation through giving back to society, specifically for those who are underprivileged and less fortunate. So indeed, it has been a joint production, Spark TV, along with Passion online page. We have screened this entire broadcast this morning. So finally, before we take it, any final message or parting call?
Yeah, so I would like to say to the public, anyone watching us online or wherever you may be, whether in Liberia or in the diaspora, yes, this is your opportunity. This is a Liberian owned institution. Make use of it. Connect donor to be inspired by our stories. And yes, we can do this collectively. We cannot do it alone. So join us. Let's take this in alleviating the many challenges that people in Islam community across our country and Africa at large are faced with. Yes, it is about time that we wake up. We want to say thanks to our vision bearers, and we we are going to work diligently to take this vision to wherever we can take it across the world.
We are going to work definitely to take this vision wherever part of the world. That is a parting comment. My name is Bakara. Say thanks so kindly. Bye bye. Up next.